Hello and welcome to the Green Henry Show, Episode 5. My name is Keith Green. I am your co-host along with Brent Henry, who is the other co-host. Today we are talking the Lakes Area Renaissance Festival with Ray Thompson. Ray Thompson is a co-owner of Koztumez, LLP in Minnesota. She is co-owning it with her husband, Tim Thompson. It's out of Lindstrom, Minnesota. And they are putting on this Renaissance Festival, and it is going down on May 11th, May 12th, and May 13th. Friday, May 11th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, May 12th, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday, May 13th, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is Mother's Day. So it's Mother's Day weekend. So for the Lakes Area Renaissance Festival, there will be a flyer and a poster on this video. So you'll be able to take a look at that as you're listening to the video and see what kind of entertainment they will have for you on those 3 days. On another note, they are looking for sponsors to contact them at Koztumez. You can send your sponsorships to 29995 Norelius, which is spelled Norelius Drive in Lindstrom, Minnesota 55045. And what they are looking to raise is $20,000 for this event. And the event, the tickets, the cost is adults is $10, ages 19 plus, children is $4, ages 6 to 18, and 6 and under is free. So if you're 6 years old and under, you get a free ticket. Adults are 10, and middle age in the children department are $4. If you would like to sponsor this event, here are your categories of sponsorship and what comes with this sponsorship. So in the first category, we have honorable mentions. In honorable mentions, it's $25 to $299. This puts your name on a sponsors list. This includes logo and name of sponsor on event flyers. So if you want to level up from that and go to the bronze level, it's $300 to $499. This puts your logo and phone number or email on the event flyers. Promotional advertising, one line, plus 2 free tickets and copy of all flyers. Level up again to silver. It's $500 to $999. This gives you 2 lines on a logo, email, phone, or your website with one other option. This will be on all event flyers, promotional advertising, maps of the event, 4 free tickets, and copy of all flyers. And if you want to level up to the max, you're going 1,000 plus. So if you put down $1,000 or more, this gives you small business card applied to the promotions for this event with all print. Your business card would be on all websites, event flyers, promotional advertising, maps of the event, ticket venue, free tickets, and copy of all advertising. So your name is on everything. So like I said, you can send this to Koztumez at 29995 Norelius, Norelius Drive in Lindstrom, Minnesota 55045. And if you could have that to them by April 15th. So the event goes down May 11th through May 13th, but they're looking for all of the proceeds to come in by April 15th if you would like to be a sponsor. So with that out of the way, with all the sponsorship information and who we're going to be talking to, we're going to talk to Ray Thompson about the Lakes Area Renaissance Festival. I hope you enjoy, and here we go.
All right. We're here with Ray Thompson of the Lakes Area Renaissance Festival. Before we get into the particulars of the Renaissance Festivals, can you just tell us a little bit about the Renaissance era in general?
Well, we're like from the 1700s to the 1850s. We go back even further. This is more about a fantasy era, and we're creating something really new with it.
Okay. What is typical of a Renaissance festival?
Typical, you're going to find wonderful food, drinks, a lot of entertainment, music. You're going to find vendors that have different types of shops, to clothing, to armor, to that type of stuff. We have a lot of great entertainment coming for the event.
Okay. So before we get into your event, can you just take us through your journey? What got you interested in going to these events in the first place?
I had a brief time. I was given tickets to go to the Renaissance at one time, and I went and I liked it. And then I had an opportunity back in about 11, excuse me, and I got to go to the Old World Renaissance with Cherie Meyer and Adam Meyer, and it was great. I enjoyed it. They said, "Oh, you can play whatever you want to do." So I put on a wedding gown that I had that was the only thing that I had that would even fit in that time era, and I played the Lost Bride, and I had a ball. After that, I got to work with the Squires at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival for about 6 years, 4 on the track, which was a lot of fun. But having my age against me, I decided to go to the gate, and I just love playing with people.
Like take the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. That's in Shakopee, right?
That is correct.
What's that like? What would you say is the average attendance for an event, for their event each year?
Oh, per day, I think it's like anywhere from 50 to 75,000 people.
Wow.
It's huge. And it's a 7-weekend event. And so they have so many different opportunities and buildings there that you can just have their entertainment come in and go into that building and entertain you. They have the Feast of Fill and the ferries. It's just very lighthearted.
Mm-hmm. What is like? Do you have to? Is it like many conventions? Do you have? Is it kind of required that you dress up? Would you be a fish out of water if you just showed up in your regular modern day clothing?
To work there, yes, probably. But there are going to be some that are sort of in between, like some of our security, they're going to be like in between. But our royal is going to be there, and they're going to be in full garb. And so anybody that's working with them would absolutely have to be completely dressed in their era. And every bit has a group, and that group is what decides their era for that particular Renaissance.
And is there a lot of, obviously there's costumes, but is there a lot of role playing during like your typical weekend? Are you in character, so to speak?
Yes, we're always role playing. We don't like people to see us non-role playing for that purpose, just because we're there to entertain you. I will have a sewing shop at this one, and I have my antique sewing machine that I will have out there to play with. Okay. And it's just something that we're trying to bring back the nostalgic part of what people did back in the day. How did they create things? How did they make things?
Okay. And do you decide who plays what before, the event begins, or can I just show up as a king and boss everybody around?
Oh, no. Now, you can show up as a king if you want, and we'll play all you want. But you have to usually go through me. I'm doing the management I have Cherie and Adam that are on the team. My husband, Tim, is on the team. And then Bobby Milliman, who is with the Royal Guards at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. and then Kimberly and Greg Grand Prix, who do the Minnesota Renaissance Festival as well.
Well, let's get into that, because you're doing something new, right? This year, you're bringing another Renaissance festival to the Lakes area, Lindstrom, correct? Tell me how that whole idea came about.
Well, I'm disabled, so it's really hard since we moved to Lindstrom in April of last year to make that long journey for me. And it's like, I just love to play. And I mentioned it online to a few of my Renaissance Festival friends, and everybody sort of jumped at the chance. And it's like, oh, okay, well, let me go talk to the city administrator. And he was all for it. And he has been very helpful in this whole endeavor.
Okay. Huh.
He's been very helpful. Has there been any difficulties getting it off the ground?
Just the sponsoring, trying to make sure, because we want to not only just do it this year, we want to be able to find a place that we can have a permanent home for it, so we can be doing it every year. And so we're out sponsoring, trying to raise money so we can actually purchase some land for next year.
Okay.
And everything is a go for this year, right? I mean, you're still putting things together, but you believe that this is definitely going to happen.
Oh, it will definitely happen. I'm just waiting for my contract to come back with the city. I just have 2 parking issues that I have to wait for my email to come in and forward it on, and that'll be taken care of.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about that town. You mentioned, I saw in a letter, that it was sort of a craft town.
Correct, it is. When we moved up here last year, I was sewing costumes for a lot of my friends at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and I started talking to him about bringing a costume shop into town, and he was very excited, and he told me that, well, that's all he wants, is this to remain a craft town, to give it that nostalgic of being back in time, being that relaxation, that things aren't going real fast. You just be able to relax and do different events and things. And he thought this would be a great fit. He allowed me to rent the Lions Park and also the space across from the Lions Park to put on this event.
Okay.
And I had to see the city council and go through all the channels, but it's been very steadily going.
Tell me a little bit about your sewing. Is that your own business that you run? It's called Custom Shop?
Custom Costumes Shop.
Okay.
Yeah, it is my own business. I got that because when I first started playing at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, I couldn't afford their costumes. They're beautiful and well made, but I couldn't afford them. But I knew how to sew for my grandmother and my mother and home economics. And so I said, well, I did it for my daughter when she was 5. I just threw her on the ground on material, cut it out, and made a witch pattern. And
Nice.
It's like, well, I can sew. I'm going to sew my own costumes. And I did. And my group that I was with asked me, oh, you can sew? It's like, well, yeah. And so I started sewing for all of them, and I had to turn it into a business.
Okay.
Do you imagine you will get a lot more business leading up to this event?
Yes, and I already have started getting more business.
Okay.
Let's talk about the event itself. What can the public expect on the first day?
On the first day is the day of wrong. And that's just a day everything goes wrong. We may dress wrong, we may be wrong, but it's the day of wrong. It's a day we get acclimated. It's a day we get to play and really sort of let loose and find things that fall into place. So when you come out, you're going to get welcomed into the gate. And as you come in, we have an island off on Lions Park that is going to become our fantasy island.
Okay.
And then we'll have some shops around there. And then across the area, we're going to have a bunch of other shops, and we're going to have the Royals over there. We're also going to be having the Knights Camp, Vikings encampment over there. And they'll be doing some wonderful shows. And then we'll have entertainment as you're coming across playing music on the stage. And then when you're over on the other side, you've got beer and the beer garden. It's not the beer garden, but the pub. And then you'll have entertainment over on the other side and shops. And we're bringing a giant chessboard in so people can play chess from the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. We have a couple, Maggie and the Tinker, that are coming from Illinois. And we're so honored to have them be a part of us the first year. And they'll be roaming around, so you'll get to see them perform as well.
Okay. Curiosity, a question. Would you like to invite the current school year's homecoming kings and queens as the kings and queens of the Renaissance?
Well, of course. I mean, we would always welcome them as part of the event if they would like to come in as a king and queen.
Okay.
You know,
I'm just suggesting, like you said, an invite to the many school districts in the surrounding area.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, we are actually having auditions, and that audition is being held with myself and Kim Grand Prix, and she is the queen of our Renaissance, so she will be giving tips to those who want to audition.
All right, I was like suggesting that they would be the high school seniors who
Right.
are already kings and queens and such.
Or even junior high. We're trying to even incorporate the middle school. We have the youngest princess at 5, who is Bubbles. She'll be blowing bubbles for the queen.
That is day 1. Let's talk about day 2, which starts at
9 a.m.
9 a.m. and it runs till 7 p.m.
Correct.
And it's men who wear kilts.
That is
Nice.
correct. And
Gosh, I wish I was a
we're also
Minnesotan
going to be
again.
having, we get to have a contest between men who wear tights and men who wear kilts. So I'm sure the Viking encampment is going to enjoy that one, as well as the 3 Celtics and company.
So are there
yes.
going to be any pink frilly kilts?
Well, I know there are women that like to have pink frilly kilts, but they're not normal.
No.
They're usually your blue plaid, your green plaid.
You red?
I
Red.
lost a bet, and I have to wear one, okay?
Oh,
It has to
I
be a
think we
pink
call that a
frilly
tutu.
kilt.
Is that what we call that?
well, now I do the tutus.
Well, it has to be a feminized version of something manly. So, yeah.
Well, I'm
Isn't
sure
the
we could
kilt
get you
already
dressed
that?
manly.
Well, I mean, it was so bad I had to compensate with a pair of pink jeans, but it wasn't good enough.
Oh my lord!
And they were white when I bought them, so.
How is that day though? Tell me what you gauge the energy will be like that day and the different activities.
Oh, the energy's going to be huge. It's the day before fishing opener. That opens up at 12:01 on Sunday morning.
Oh.
So we have a ceramic tour also going on in Wisconsin. So there is going to be traffic going constantly.
Oh.
Yeah, and so we're working with them to sponsor each other because they're just right past Taylor's Falls.
You're a good strategist in business. Nice.
Thank you.
Would you say that's a little bit more of a rowdier day than perhaps the Friday?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Saturday and Sunday both are going to be our best days because we'll have all those kinks worked out. We know the Renaissance Festival so well, it doesn't take us long to get into our character and start becoming the people we are.
Well,
Also, I gotta say that I actually like that you have a day where you call it the wrong day, where
Yeah.
it's a day to work out the kinks, because so many businesses or whatever, they never consider they think that everything's going to just magically work, right off the bat.
We know that from experience. It never does.
right.
But I love that you've acknowledged that in light of what Nicholas was saying about your business savvy. Like that's I've been with businesses that will acknowledge that things go wrong and their business just works so much better than someone who just gets frustrated and upset all the time that nothing's working right.
Yes. Well, I took music business in 2004 and 5, and I took my business skills and put it into my costume shop.
No, I mean, granted, I had my initial doubts because of its location. No, but your timing seems wonderful, and you also correlated with what was going to happen across the state border. So, yeah, I have nothing. I'm proven wrong.
Well, and with being fishing opener, a lot of people travel up here because there is so many lakes close by.
Right.
So
I was thinking like it would be like this Renaissance Festival should be like in Bemidji or Grand Rapids, but no, you've nailed me. So.
right, and we're really right off of Highway 8, and we'll be having signs up. We're just getting our signs now. So we'll be having signs on each end of town too. So getting publicized.
I want to talk about specifically then Sunday, May 13th, which is 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Ladies' Day. How does Ladies' Day differ from the rest?
Well, it's Mother's Day, so we're going to do a special on Mother's Day. So anybody who brings their mother gets one ticket half off to start off the day. Okay. And then what do mothers like best but a little wine and chocolate? So we're going to have some wine and chocolate going on for the day. And we'll have special entertainment just for the women out there that might have a little different taste than the guys. So we'll have wonderful entertainment to help with that. And it's just going to be treating those mothers extra special because there's so many mothers out there that like to do something fun on Mother's Day.
Ticket prices are under 6 is free, right? Children under 6.
Correct.
Children 6 to 17 would be $4. Adults 18 and over is $10.
Correct.
What kind of for like your shoppers, because I'm kind of a window shopper, I like to look at all kinds of different things. What can I expect to buy there?
Oh, you can expect to buy anything from caps to cloaks to shirts to vests to pants to jewelry to candles to incense. And then you've got tarot reading and past life readings and things like that to enjoy as well.
But back to this, though. I want you to tell me a little bit about all the sponsors you have so far, because you sent me that email. How does a business or a person in general become a sponsor of this event?
Well, it's really quite easy. I mean, they can just contact me. I do have posts going up from Fort Caring that we have sponsorship going. We have Brinks Supermarket, for example. They are sponsoring 10 24 packs of water for our staffing, our cast. And then we have Wildwood Campground. They're giving our festival camp or festy campers a wonderful deal to sort of fill in there. And we're trying to utilize the community to the best of our ability because it is a craft town and we want to show what we are able to do with our hands.
Where can people reach out to you at?
They can reach out to me at Facebook under Custom Costume Shop, or you can also just send me an email at customcostumes, KOZTUMEZ at Comcast.net, or they can just give me a call at 612-990-8927.
Is there a certain deadline you want people to reach out to you by?
I would like to have people got everything in line by April 15th.
Okay, April 15th. I should have asked this earlier, but how do you intend to be, aside from the Minnesota Renaissance Festival runs, how many weeks did you say 7 weeks?
They run 7 weeks. We are not that big, of course, at this time.
Right.
But as we can grow, it will determine on the want and the desire and how many weekends are being requested.
Right.
How do you want to differ from them, though, in general? Do you want to be more like them, or do you want to be distinctly different in style?
Approach.
Yeah.
We definitely want to be different in style and approach. We definitely are not here to take anything away from the Minnesota Renaissance. It is wonderful, and being out there and participating out there has been nothing but a positive experience for me and many of my friends out there. So being different is going to make us what people want to come in the spring.
Okay. So can it run like until the weekend before the 4th of July, maybe?
Well, it would take a few years to be able to do that.
No,
Right,
it's
you
just
gotta
my
build it.
suggestion.
Yeah,
It's
it's stepping stones, basically.
right. It's just my suggestion before the county fairs start opening in Minnesota, type of the reasons.
What kind of age ranges? Do you see all age ranges at these type of festivals?
Always.
Yeah,
From
I've always
the
seen
newest
that.
baby, from the newest baby to somebody that can't get around except for on a scooter, but they enjoy it just as much.
All right.
This is going to be kind of a geeky question, but I have to ask it. With television the way it is, Game of Thrones, Vikings, do you see uptake in participation with shows like that? People becoming more fans of the medieval times?
I do. I think that has been growing more and more every year, that people, because they do get to experience the one in Shakopee and how well it's done, that they do get that craving and that desire. And with all the other Renaissance that go on throughout the United States, it's becoming more and more a desire.
Tell me also, is this an event you think where single men and single women could potentially meet?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
You couldn't get in a more public place.
Yeah.
Right. Well, otherwise, the thing I wanted to ask really was, you mentioned mobility issues, and so is that one thing that makes your Renaissance Festival different from the one in Shakopee? Like, is there like a cobblestone walkways in which people in wheelchairs and scooters can ride because they need to ride them?
There is a pathway, a cement pathway through Lions Park.
Okay.
And then across the street, it is grass, but it's more flat land. So it makes it a lot more accessible than the dips and the hills.
Right. Yeah, just because I'm a little worried about like a mud and then being stuck in the mud.
Oh, yeah. No, you wouldn't be stuck in the mud.
And I was going with the whole like Renaissance thing, or rather, like before the Dark Ages, there were these roads used by Romans, and they could just instead be just stone pathways.
Mm-hmm.
That you can just maybe place down and then remove later, but they like mimic the Roman roads for a while.
Well, that's going to be coming into cost, and unless we have lots of sponsorship, then
right. And they don't have to be like real stones.
Right.
They could be like whatever. They're just to increase handicap access, really.
No, I do understand that concern, absolutely. Being disabled.
How is lodging in that area for people that want to travel, stay the weekend? Is there like good hotels to stay at?
There is. There's the Super 8, I think.
Yeah.
I forget. There's 2 in Chisago. There's 1 in Lindstrom, and then right on the other side of Schaefer, there is Wildwood Campgrounds, and then there's also a ski lodge up there too. There's all sorts of camping up there. It's beautiful.
How many people would be a success for you, Ray?
If we had 500 people a day.
Okay. And so you want how many in like 1 year's worth, which is not an entire year? How many people are you expecting or hoping?
Well, for the first year, just from the responses and stuff that I'm getting, I'm hoping for anywhere from 15 to 3,000.
Okay.
At least 50,000, huh?
Has it been smooth? Has it been smooth sailing getting this off the ground, or is it rather difficult?
Well, there's always a few, things that you're going to have to work out, especially because you have to work with the city. And that's the one thing you don't want to do is upset the city. So, because they enjoy the Renaissance themselves, they're willing to work with us this first year, and then they're also going to keep an eye out on land for us as well, so that way we have that opportunity to buy that land and make it bigger and be able to move out there for next year.
All right. Oh, now I just remembered. I know that the Renaissance Festival in Shakopee, after it's over, they turn into like some sort of Halloween thing. If you were to expand this, was there going to be anything else that was worth doing? Because, like I said, I'm more into modernizing tradition, so.
Well, we had thought about doing something in mid-October after the Minnesota Renaissance, because they have a lot of heydays and pumpkin patches up here that we could incorporate a lot of that with them.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be Halloween, but okay.
Right. But it would be that fall era type.
Okay, so tell me, before we close the interview today, can you just give me a rundown of the dates and times again for the audience?
Sure. May 11th is Friday, and that's going to be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then May 12th and May 13th is going to run from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And people can start contacting you right away. You want them all to contact you and everything before April 15th, right?
Yes, and tickets will be going out April 2nd. They are being printed right now, so they will be able to be purchased starting April 2nd.
Okay. Are there any rules, regulations? Because I know the Renaissance Festival has this sort of rules on weapons down there. So
we also do.
Okay.
It's called Peace Tide. They will be tied to your belt or your outfit or something like that, so that way they can't be removed.
Ah, I see.
We will definitely promote this event on our page and get the word out for you. We want to see success in Minnesota anywhere possible. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this, Ray, and I trust that this will be a profitable and enjoyable event for everybody here in Minnesota.
Right.
Make sure to contact Ray as soon as possible. So thank you again.
Oh,
thank you.
Yes.
May 11th, I'll be wearing all orange.